Hello, hello, hello. It's Thursday. Here we are again. It's live chat with Kat. I hope that you're going to come along and join in the conversation today because we're going to talk about letting go. And I'm not going to sing the song, I absolutely promise, because it does seem that we have a bit of a song theme going on because last week we were talking about This Is Me. And today we're talking about letting go, but I promise you, it's not about the songs. It's about the energy behind the question, because that's what all of these Chat with Cats are all about. It's asking questions. It's about letting ourselves ponder beyond the edges of where we usually allow ourselves to be. So if you're here, pop me a little comment. Let me know that you're with me live. I'd love to have some of your comments here and questions. If you've got anything you want to talk about as well, pop me in a comment. I'm just going to do a little share. So hang on a second. Sing amongst yourselves just for a second. There we are. Right, here we go. So I've no idea how people do this by themselves. There's too many buttons and things to worry about. There we are. Put that in there. Post. Right, I think we're here. So we've got some people. Yay! Hello. Thanks for joining me here. Becky Nichols, thank you very much for coming along. So I hope that you have a few minutes today to join me for a little conversation about letting go. And the reason I wanted to talk about this today is so many of us are feeling, tell me you're feeling this, the enormous effects of the full moon eclipse energy that we have been walking through these last weeks or so, and especially over the last weekend. The eclipse really allows us to properly have a really good look at ourselves and a really good introspection at our own lives and where we are. And I think Elizabeth Peru talks about how, the eclipse energy is like opening a cupboard where you've shoved everything for the last 10 years. and then you suddenly have to have a look at what's in the cupboard. And we've all got one of those cupboards if we haven't got, a drawer in the kitchen, I'm sure. But energetically, that's what this is all about right now. And so for me, I love these periods. I love these periods, where we are infinitely guided to really take a good restock of life and to really have a good realignment and reawareness of who we are, where we are, what life looks like for us, and maybe what are the things that don't feel in alignment with us anymore. Because as we talk about every week in these live sessions, we are a new person in every single breath, in every single second. And we live in this creation of the echoes of the decisions from the people that we used to be in all of the breaths before. So we have this opportunity whenever we need it to really come back into ourselves and re-choose and re-look at ourselves and go, this is a brand new me. So what is in alignment with the me-ness of me now? And this is one of the questions, that I constantly bring into the world is, show me more of the moreness of me. And when we are actively looking for the more of the moreness of me, that then means that how can the me stay the same? It can't. Because in every single moment that we're asking to see more of ourselves, we are evolving. We're literally evolving every single breath. Some of us are doing it more actively than others. And if you're on the action track, which I know you probably are if you're listening to me, then we are actively creating this fiery force of self-perpetuating awakening and evolution for ourselves. And it's an absolutely amazing place and time to be right now. And especially coming out of this eclipse energy, this deep, deep, deep yearning to find more of ourselves and going internally and doing this work of letting go. We are bringing about an entirely different future for ourselves, for our families, for our environment, for our communities, because every single thing that we unpick and unweave and unsolidify, we then reflect that out into the world, and that then creates a new reality for ourselves and for everyone around us. So this is truly the magic of life, of how we are and how we express ourselves in the world and how we are willing to uncover and evolve day to day, breath by breath. That's how we are creating a new reality. And so today, talking about letting go, this is the process that I've been working through over these last 2 weeks. And it's had me very quiet and very introspective and very pondery. And I don't know about you, but actually in the process right now, what I'm feeling in my body is that it's like all of the edges are losing their density in the world around me, and even in my physicality. I don't feel as solid as I used to. And I know that if you're not with me and understanding this, you're going to think I'm a complete nutter. But that's okay, because we're all on different journeys. And some of you will know what I'm talking about. Like the aura and the energy of ourselves outside of our physical form seems to have been being made more real. Somehow we are more aware of the moreness of even our physicality right now. We don't just end at the end of these fingers. We don't just end. We are literally a part of the soup of everything that is around us. And this is what this process is when we allow ourselves to choose to let go, choose to really pay attention to what is this solidity that I'm feeling? What is this thing that I'm hung up on? What is this block that I believe that I've got? What is this thinking? What is this? And letting ourselves question. And letting ourselves question and bring about awareness creates. And that's the magic of being in this energy state of show me more of the moreness of me. So I can see we've got some people come on, and thank you ever so much for joining me. My amazing friend Anna Grace Taylor is here. Thank you very much, Anna, for popping in. Anna is a beautiful angel goddess, and she does some amazing work. So if you don't follow Anna Grace Taylor, please do. I'll put her link to her page in the comments a bit later on. We've got Kathy here and Mandy. Thank you very much for popping by too. So where do we start with letting go? What is letting go? What is that? And we hear this phrase, don't we, all over the place, you know, letting go. I promised I wasn't going to sing. So that wasn't even ring singing, was it? You're going to forgive me for that one. But we have this internal, if only I could just let go of this. When we are aware of something, when we are aware that we believe we've got a block, let's talk about this, where we've got ourselves to a point where it's like, if only I could, if only I would, if only if only I didn't. You know, all of these expressions of believing that we have limits. believing that we have limitations in who we can be. And this is the letting go, that if we let ourselves really look at these limitations, if we let ourselves sit, and then one of the things that we don't do in this world now is we don't sit and question. We don't sit and allow. We don't sit and be with. And that's really the work of any kind of spiritual practice, is the sitting with ourselves. You know, and a lot of people will talk in their trainings about sitting in the power or sitting in the energy or sitting in something that's outside of ourselves. But how few of us actually sit with ourselves? And when we allow ourselves the courage to sit with ourselves, we can find out so much about what there is within us that we're willing to investigate. And when we have one of these blocks that keeps coming up, if we're aware enough to have actually labeled it and to be actually say it out loud, that if only I didn't if only I couldn't whatever it is, when we've got to that point, we have something that we can work with. We have something that we can make a choice from that point. So the first choice that we make from that point is, am I going to believe that this is who I am or not? And how easy is it for us to believe that these blocks and struggles and beliefs about ourselves are who we are? Because we have this language pattern of self-perpetuating derogatory belief about ourselves. You know, it just happens. It happens that we have this block and then we go, oh, but, you know, it's just who I am. It's just who I am. I am that. You know, I am stupid. I am disorganized. I am really rubbish about forgetting everybody's birthday. I am whatever it is. And we can actually take a judgment about a thing, like a belief, just an action of behavior. And we can choose to make it who I am. What a load of fuckery is that? Seriously. Why would we do that to ourselves? And we have no reason now, with all of the awareness that we have, to keep perpetuating this belief of this is who I am because of this problem, belief, block, whatever it is. And making that judgment about ourselves and making our identity about it. You know, this trap of the judgment of myself therefore creates who I am. You know, and there's moments like this, because I am infinitely compassionate to myself now most of the time, I can in good humour tell myself to fuck off. when these feelings come about, like, oh, I'm just, no. Because our identity is not any of that. And we can choose from this initial point of, am I going to make judgment of me about this? Am I going to make this my I amness? Or am I going to be open and willing to sit with myself and choose to investigate all of the pieces of me that I can look at here? Because when we are brave enough to sit in our own feeling, when we are brave enough to sit in our own belief, we create a whole infinite possibility of how to unfold ourselves further. And there's a process I'm going to take you through in a minute, which is something that I have discovered. It makes me laugh and it makes me smile, and it's something that I bring to myself often, where we can get into a spiral to literally crack open all of the beliefs all of the judgments, all of the feeling in a moment of presence, when we can stop ourselves from going down the road of, I've got this block, I've got this feeling, I've got this thing, and instead of making that judgment and making it I am, go, let's have a look at this thing. And it's really simple. It's like a fork in the road. And we all know how easy it is to continue down the fork in the road of, I've got this thing, therefore I am. Because our body kind of resonates with that self-recrimination and that self-degradation, and like, I'm going to beat myself over the head with this a little bit more because I then believe more about who I am. No. Let's come back to the crossroads. Let's come back out of that. Let's back up into this decision point and let's go look at the thing. Let's go look at the thing. Let's go sit in the thing for a little while and just discover a little bit more about this infinite loop of letting go that we can open up when we are brave and we're willing and we're able to bring about that moment of awareness that creates a new reality and a new level of evolution for ourselves. And we can do this constantly. So here is the code for cracking the solidity of our own self-judgment and overthinking. Are you ready? Yeah? Here we go. So it is the WTF formula for breaking through the bullshit. This is where we're going. So this is from the book that I'm writing at the moment. So you'll be getting more of this as we're going along. But here we go into the WTF formula. And anyone that's in the self-awareness arena has probably heard of these steps before. But it's really useful to have something to tag on to. Because when we get one of these moments of like junction point, actually I'm going to look at this thing, we can say to ourselves, what the fuck? I nearly fell into making that me. Fuck off. Let's go the other way. Let's look at this thing. So we can get into this process. Okay, so the W stands for, what is it? What is it? What is the thing? So we grab a notepad. We actually actively go into this state of inquiry. Because, as we've said before, awareness creates. Awareness unlocks, unsolidifies, unweaves, creates infinite new potentials. So we get into this moment of questioning. We get into this moment of, what is this thing? What is it? What is this block? What is this belief? What is this feeling? What is this external thing that's just happened that sent me in a tailspin? What is the thing? So grab your notepad and write down what the thing is. So we've got a tangible there. We've got a real thing. And by writing it down, getting it out of our physicality and our mental processing, we've actually got something to work with. We've got something real. That's great. So we write down this thing, and that's the W. That's the what. Then we move into the T. So WTF. What the fuck? Are you kind of understanding now where I am as a spiritual teacher? We're getting this now. So WTF, right. So what is the thing? Then we go into the T. Then we go into, what is my thinking about this? What am I thinking? What am I thinking? So we've got this question. We've got the what. We've got the thing we're looking at. And then we go into the thinking. So, about this thing, I am thinking that it's making me feel like crap. It's making me think this. I am thinking this. I am thinking this. I think that. I think this. I think that. I think, I think, I think, I think, I think. And literally get it all out. Power of writing. Power of writing is amazing. And if you can't write, say it out loud to yourself. If you're in the car, say this out loud to yourself. I think, I am thinking, I think that, I think, I think, I think, I think, I think. And I guarantee there's going to be a period where you get to so many thinks that the process of the recognition of the thinking starts to knock you out of the spiral that you're in, because we can see the separation of what thinking actually is as being a process that occurs because I'm a human being that's living in this world of the echoes of the me that I have created up until this point. But the I amness of now, the you-ness of now, the you-ness of now is not the same you that created all of that thinking, because all of our thinking is in delay. It's old news. It's created by the physical form we're sitting in and the learning it has created based on the echoes of who we used to be. Fuckery. So, I think, I think, I think, I think, I think, I think. And then the next bit that we move into in the what the fuck, infinite breakthrough of solidity or fuckery, is F. No. Oh, let's see. F. Yeah, F. It's only 3 letters, not that complicated. So F is, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? And there's 2 levels when we get into what am I feeling. The first level is we start feeling, I feel that, and there'll be a whole heap of judgment wrapped around in the I feel. I feel stupid. I feel used. I feel broken. I feel useless. I feel whatever it is. I feel, I feel, I feel, I feel. And you can see the process that happens here. When we come in and we write, how am I feeling? I feeling, feeling, I feel, I feel, I feel. We're literally allowing levels and levels and levels and levels and levels and levels and levels of emotional reaction to be witnessed and heard. And that in itself is incredibly healing to ourselves, to witness our own feeling, to witness our own thinking. And then the next level we can come into of feeling is literally to go into our body, into this body that is creating all of this, that we are flowing through as a spiritual being, having a spiritual experience in this solid linear manifest world through this physical form. So it only makes sense to listen to what this physicality is telling me. So I feel can go into, I feel breathless. I feel shaky. I feel jittery. I feel really tight. I feel really expansive. I feel. I feel like I've got a headache. I feel like I've got a pain behind my eyes. I feel. Sitting in all of this exploration into who we are, in this moment, in the unpicking and the unpacking of this what that we've just written down. And once we are aware of the multitude of all of these layers of thinking and feeling that one aspect of life has, we believe, created in ourselves, we are infinitely more aware. In our energy centers, we have literally expanded out. We have let go of the hiddenness of all of these infinite expressions that our physicality and our thinking are shouting and swirling around us constantly in reaction to the world, in reaction to what's going on around us. But that reaction to, is that actually where we want to be navigating our world from? Do we want to be reacting from this place of all of this? So the first thing that we then do is we recognize that I've just uncovered the thinking and the feeling around this what. I have just uncovered all of this. And then again, we have another judgment point. We have another fork in the road where we have to, as a spiritual practice, as a practice, say to ourselves, I am not allowing myself to go down the route of this judgment direction, that any of that then becomes who I am. Because that's not who you are. It's the expression of you that this physical form as a human in this world is bringing about in reaction to the world around it. But you are a spiritual being having a spiritual experience through this physical form that you are sitting in now to experience linear manifest world and this infinite expression of reality creating itself from the echoes of the world that we put out there through our own energy being in this world. And when we are brave enough to really truly look at all of these what the fucks, WTF, what thinking, feeling, when we are brave enough to sit in our feeling, when we are brave enough to sit and recognize our thinking, we then can get back into another loop. We can get back into more self-discovery. Because if you get to the end of this process and you feel so incredibly drawn to making something about who you are based on all of this, if you feel that yearning inside of you that I'm going to make this a thing about who I am, oh my Lord, look at all of that. I am so shit as a human. Then what do? We've got another what to write down. And then we go again. And every single time we do this, we are literally unweaving, undoing, loosening, letting go of all of the wound into this world belief systems that we have. Letting ourselves feel this, letting ourselves inquire into it, letting ourselves experience it at all of these infinite levels moves us into a state of evolution, which is massively accelerated. Because that's what we are here to do, is to be the ones where we're saying, actually, I am aware enough to create a new future for me where I'm interested in looking at this. I am open to seeing more of the moreness of me. And seeing more of the moreness of me means looking into every single piece of who I am, the reactions I have to the world, my beliefs, my feelings, my understandings, and not judging ourselves by what we find. Because when we can do this work without spiraling back into making a judgment about who we are, we find so much peace, because we can let go of these elements that come into our world that we were previously reacting to and believing that that's who we are, when we can just look at the thing, look at the peace, look at what's going on, look at the thing, bring that in, and then look at myself in reaction to it. And that's when this awareness creates. Awareness allows us to bring in a new experience of life. Awareness allows us to be a different human being. Awareness allows us to make different choices in every single breath. And that is what I wanted to talk about today. You know, this process of letting go and not finding something and then choosing to decide that that makes me something, that makes me, I am from that thing. Because the I amness of us is not any of it. The I amness of us is an infinite spark of the divine that is here having an experience, a spiritual experience through this physical form. And we can't figure it out. Through this focus, we can't figure it out. But we can go on an amazing journey into discovering more about ourselves, more about our reactions to the world, more about who we are in all of this infinite fuckery of being a human here in this solid linear manifest world as it exists right now. But that's what we signed up for, guys. That's who we are. We are the transition team. We are the guys that are here being boot camped. You know, a lot of us have been boot camped for a heck of a long time, so that we can come to this point and be the ones that are here to make way and be readiers for everyone else that's coming along. So we have to look into ourselves, look into our hearts, look into the what can I let go of? What can I let go of? What is this thing? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. And then stay there. So I hope that was kind of helpful today. And if you've got any comments about today, then if you're watching on replay or if you're watching live, leave me a comment down below and I will come back to you a little bit later. And also, if you'd like to find out more about my work, who I am, the things that I do in the world, how you can have a one-to-one session with me, or how you can have a session with me and my Spirit Collective, The Crew, which is freaking awesome. You can find that on my website, which is at uninvented.life. And also, if you go to the website, there is the chance to download my free ebook, How to Be a Human, and it's the What the Fuck Awakening Guide. It's all about how to be human in this world right now, and we talk about all this sort of stuff in there. And that's completely free. It's 33 pages, so you get through it with a cup of tea, and hopefully it will make you giggle a little bit along the way. So thank you ever so much for being here. I'm just going to check the comments. Oh, Becky, thanks for all your comments. Making me realise I need to get moving and stop closing my doors yet. Mandy, thanks very much. Really helpful, makes such sense. Oh, that's brilliant. Kathy, lovely to see you again. And Jewel, thank you for popping in as well. You know, I hope that all of these are helpful. And if you've got an idea or a question or a pondering that you would like me to talk about in one of these live chat with cats, or to address in a deeper sense in my podcast Reality Poke, where I delve into a question and then co-host it with my Spirit Collective, the crew, who bring in a channeled message for us to really blow our brains and expand into the next level of understanding, then please send me a PM, put it in the comments, get in touch with me, let me know what you'd like me to have a little poke around in, because I kind of think this is fun. So huge love. Thank you very much for being with me today, and I will see you next week with Chat with Cat on Thursday at 3 p.m. in Paris time. So bye for now. Happy Thursday.